it's a tremendously emotional day for so many people, fans of music, fans of television, broadcasters. Certainly me personally, as Dick Clark, was one of those incredible pioneers of our business. He taught me how to do television. I studied him as a kid, and I had the fortunate opportunity to work with him for several years on New Year's Eve. And so I'm sad, and I'm grateful for what he's given all of us, and certainly what he's given me.
And it's one of those things that when you hear that Dick Clark is gone, nobody can say anything bad about Dick Clark.
And I loved him. He was a sweet guy. He was a generous man who loved his job. And I think he had a long, happy life. That's what we should all hope for.
My fondest memory is still 2001 after 9/11. And nobody knew exactly what tone to bring, and no one was sure who would show up in Times Square and what the mood would be. And he brought this invincible spirit to that night and showed us all how to live in a new year after a dark time.
He's a true Hollywood icon and sort of the archetype of a host. And I don't think there's been anyone like him, nor will there ever be. And there's a lot of imitators, but he's the original and the best.
One of the forefathers of this business, of television, of specials, of game shows. I mean, he's like a godfather to me.
It was almost like you lost a very dear friend or a family member. He was so beloved, and I understand that. So I felt that today. But I was also glad that he lived for 82 long years. I think that that's great too.
He lived in one of my buildings in New York when he was in New York, and he was just a great guy, really good. And until a few years ago, he looked like he was 35 years old for his entire life. He had the greatest young look I think I've ever seen.
What happened day before yesterday, he had very, very minor prostate surgery that was just practically an outpatient thing, but he spent the night, and yesterday morning woke up, had breakfast, and then just all of a sudden he got a feeling down his arm yesterday, at about 9:30 yesterday morning, and he was gone by 11:15. And it just turned out to be a massive heart attack.
It's a tragic day for all of us. I don't know anything about the specifics of the case, but for anybody out there who's had damage to their organs, their kidneys, their brain, even impotence, frankly, is a sign that you have problems with your blood vessels. A heart attack is the main thing I worry about.
He's had a tough few years, and it's just so shocking, and he will be missed dearly. And my heart goes out to his family and all the survivors. And he may be gone, but he'll always be with every one of us who's in television.
I think Dick Clark was willing to struggle, even though we all felt badly that he had suffered a stroke, but he was willing to struggle with that, show up every New Year's Eve and be part of America. And I think he's a bastion of strength for many folks who have disabilities, who realize it's worth it, it's okay. It's going to be tough, but I can do it because he did it.
And he did so much for show business. He did so much for Motown and for all of the acts, and for the acts in England or all over the world that would come here. Their first stop was Dick Clark.
His legacy is that he introduced me to Prince and every other band on earth on American Bandstand, and taught me to dance.
He is a music industry icon. I mean, you just look at his history in this industry and the shows that he's created, and above it all, a great gentleman, always.
We will miss him, and there will be nobody like him.